I'm looking at a possibility of doing a squat-only program. Again, this has been on my mind for the last few days, simply because this high rep squatting is taking all of my recovery points. It's simple as that. It is so taxing, it is so depleting that once I'm done with the squatting, I don't really have the will, the energy to do anything else. My exercise selection usually is quite narrow, quite slim. I tend to focus on only a few lifts. And I've had moments in this squat everyday period where I've only just squatted, whether it be front squat, back squat. I've had stretches like that where I just do that. The last time I did that, I had some hip pain issues, and I was trying to kind of focus on that. And the pain was so kind of severe, it was limiting my squatting, that I just basically said, to the hell with everything, man. My number one motivator in training is squats, and if I can't do squats properly, I'll basically lose motivation for everything else. But this time around, I'm doing squatting so much that I don't have the energy to do anything else. And so coming in today, I thought to myself, if I don't put something ahead of squats in terms of exercise order, I'll have another day where I just come in and basically do a deadlift, squat, and then go home. So I came in today and I decided to do some overhead pressing. I basically ran the rack. I'm showing you guys here a few clips. I started off with 5 kilos, then I went to 7.5, then to 10, then 12.5, 15, 17.5, and I just kept going. The first few sets were kind of like sets of 20. And then as the weight got heavier, I started to do 10s. And then the last few, I think I did 5s. I think the top set was 27.5 kilos. The reason why I selected this exercise amongst all the others I could have done for the upper body is because I feel like this exercise has the best carryover to the rest of the stuff which I actually care about. I've said this to you guys, I don't particularly care too much about bench press, overhead press, pull-ups, all that sort of stuff. Like, that's all secondary to me, or tertiary. The first goal that I have, my number one motivator, is squatting, and then very close to that is deadlifting. And the reason why deadlifting is so close is because it's closely related to squatting. I felt like if I increase my deadlift, the squat increases. If I increase my squat, the deadlift increases. It's kind of like, they're very close cousins when it comes to human movement. Bench pressing, pull-ups, I've tried to find, relations there to squat and deadlifting. Certainly pull-ups, have had a pretty good significance when it comes to that because of the lats. Lats are stabilizers of the upper back. You pinch down when you deadlift. The more kind of mass you have on the upper body, especially in the lats, you solidify that upper back, and you just basically solidify that back both in the squat and deadlift. And so I found that to be really good. But in recent times, I've discovered the overhead pressing has a weird, really, really weird knack of also training the lats, but also training the hell out of that middle back, that traps, the rhomboids, lower, mid, upper traps. And also, weirdly enough, I've been getting almost more DOMs in my lats from overhead pressing than I would with pull-ups. So I thought, taking that kind of idea into consideration, also thinking about what I've seen Olympic weightlifters do. What do? They spend a lot of time overhead, snatching, clean and pressing, all of that. They spend a lot of time, like every lift finishes at the top. And I kept kind of thinking about what makes their squatting so beautiful compared to powerlifting. While powerlifting is kind of all kind of leaned over and whatever, there's many reasons, style of squat and whatever, but Olympic lifters specifically, they have a different way of squatting. They're very upright. And I kind of started to connect these dots, and I thought, well, maybe they're so upright is because their middle back and upper back is so strong because they spend so much time in overhead positions. And so I thought, okay, let's try that. And a few weeks back, before I had COVID, I tried that, and I was so surprised to learn that, my Lord, my upper back is getting smashed. That middle back, traps, rhomboids, all of that. And I said to you guys, it was like an immediate posture change. Immediate. All of a sudden, I'm walking around with my chest out, my head's back, and it's an automatic fix. And then when I went to deadlifting, I found that I was able to keep my back flatter. I've spoken about the domino effect. Once you let go of the upper back, once your shoulders round, your middle back gets more pressure, threatens to round. And once your middle and upper back rounds, then all of the pressure's on your lower back. It's kind of like, let's take care of that first domino. Let's not let it fall. And then the whole spine is going to have an easier time in the deadlift and the squat. So this is why I kind of chose to do overhead press. And I think it was a good decision, because after this session, again, I would have been too spent to do anything. I worked up to 240 on the deadlift. Today kind of felt heavier than the first time I did it. We spoke about what caused me so much confidence, what caused that confidence with the first time I did deadlifting after COVID. The two kind of theories were, one, the rest, and then two was the high rep squatting. I've come in today and I feel not as explosive as last time, but last time I didn't do overhead press. I basically spent like 30 minutes doing overhead press, the dumbbell overhead press. So I don't know whether that had an effect or the fact that I've just spent so many points with the high rep squatting. I've been upping the ante on that and doing lots and lots of volume. So I'm still not quite sure whether that first session was rest or high rep squatting or combination. Probably a combination, to be honest. But I did deadlift to 240. That kind of felt all right, whatever. Nothing significant there. Went to squatting. I managed to work to 200 kilos today, which surprised me a little bit. I had a bit of a different approach today. Because I felt tired, I decided not to have so many warm-up sets. So usually, yesterday and the day before, the days leading up to this, what I would usually do is work up to, bar for 3 sets, 60 for 3, 100 for 3, and they're all kind of sets of 10. And then 140, 160, 180 has been the singles. And then I come back down, do 140 for 10, come back down, do 100 for 10 or 20 or something like that. So today I just did one set of each. So actually I did the bar for 3, and then I did a single set of 60, single set of 100. Actually, I'm lying to you. I did 3 sets of 60, but I skipped on the 100. So as soon as the weight started getting close to that 50% of my 1 rep max, I just went singles. And because of that energy that I saved, I was able to hit 200. And I felt good. I felt good with 200, even though, man, the last few days I've squatted like a maniac. Lots of reminiscing about the first time I squatted 200 kilos. That 1 rep max that I hit with 200. That was basically preceded by high rep squatting. I was talking to a fella at the gym today, and I said to him, I'm planning to do a set of 40 with 60 kilos. And he said, what the hell are you doing, man? What's happening there, I was kind of saying to him, look, man, this has worked for me in the past. It's making my body feel good. I'm all up in my quads. The quads are on the map. My lower back's on the map. I feel like I'm doing a lot of good. What I didn't tell him, but later on, like when he walked away, I started thinking about another great exercise, the 45-degree hyper. You get a mean pump in the lower back. Depends how you do it, really. But I would get a lower back pump when I would do that. Well, I'm doing that lower back pumping with this high rep squatting. So it's almost like I keep coming back to the same thing when we compare exercises. 45 hyper, leg extensions, leg curls, like all these things are great. But if you just did the squats for the same reps that you would do the 45 hyper, the leg extension, the leg curls, you would have the same damn effect, man. Literally. You would have the same, like I had a lower back pump today. I had a quad pump. Actually, the arches of my feet, man, I had that was on the map. I was feeling that. Obviously, my wrists, my shoulders, everything was freaking alight. When I hit that 200, I went straight back down to 60 kilos, 1 plate. And like I said to you, I went for a set of 40. Yesterday, I did a set of 30. Today, a set of 40. Lot of freaking work, man. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, you're doing too much, man. You got to space that out. Well, today, I didn't do that middle portion. I didn't do the 140. I didn't do 160. I didn't do 100 for many, reps at all. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do now. One day I'm going to try and do super high reps with super light weight, right? And then the following day or in between days, I'm going to try, depending on the shifts. This is the thing. Tomorrow I've got another 4:30 start. So it's hard to predict what's going to happen. But tomorrow, ideally, if I didn't have work, I would come in and I would try and hit 160 for 5, 140 for 10, or maybe even 15 now because I'm kind of getting fitter now. You know, that middle portion. And then the day after that, again, like today, I would hit that low portion, low weight, you know, go for 40, go for 50 reps. It feels good. It feels good. And the whole time I'm thinking about, you know, Tom Platz, I'm thinking about Super Squats, the book. I feel like I want to get that book again and read it again because that's the thinking right now. That's the thing. So many reps. And I know a lot of you guys have said to me, this is not going to directly affect your 1 rep max, but I beg to differ, man. Like I literally feel like my body's changing underneath me. I'm still staying fresh with daily squatting of, you know, daily training singles, max singles, training maxes. I'm still doing that. So I'm not going to have decay of, how would you say it, central nervous system decay. You know, I'm not going to have decay of that maximum strength. So I'm still kind of practicing my sport, but in the background, I'm not pushing that 80, 85% business. I'm pushing the sub 50 business. You know, I've said this in the past that, you know, if I was ever to release a program, you know, that was the thinking at the time, it would be a sub 50 program. You know, the sub 50 being sub 50% of your 1 rep max and spending a whole lot of time there, like chasing the 50 reps, the 40 reps, the 30 reps with, you know, sub 50 weight. I don't know. There's been many people out there who have messaged me over the last 2 years who have said, man, opposite experiences. Like I remember one guy said to me he could do 60 kilos for something like 60 reps, man, or 70 reps. Something absurd like that. I can't exactly remember exactly what he did. It was 60 kilos for like 60 reps, right? I can't do that. Like I've never done that. But his max was only like 140 or 150, something like that, right? So he's stronger in the reps, but weaker in the top end. So for somebody like that, you know, if I said to him, man, if you get that 60 kilo to 100 reps, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be better at the, you know, at the top end strength. But for me, somebody like me who spent so much time with singles, doubles, and triples, like basically 2 years, when I throw in the high rep stuff, I see translation, I see carryover to my 1 rep max. So it's almost like, it's like that whole sumo conventional deadlift, you know, idea. If you do something that you're not good at, everything gets better, right? So if you're a conventional puller, spend some time with sumo, and when you go back to conventional, you're gonna have a better conventional. And the same with, you know, vice versa. If you are, you know, the other way improves, you know. It's almost like the same idea is for this high rep business. You know, if you're somebody that's some cardio freak, right? You know, you run a lot, or you play, you know, I don't know, some sort of field sport, and you have a really high fitness level, you need to maybe work on your 1 rep max, 2 rep max, triples, all that. That's where you need to spend a lot of time. Maybe because you've got some of those, you know, qualities, that muscle endurance quality, whereas I don't. You know, some of these fibers, which I'm training now with sets of 30 and 40, some of these fibers are now first time being awoken after a very, very long period of time. And so you awake them, and then you've also got the primary, you know, fibers that you train with singles, doubles, and triples. All of a sudden, you've got a full team on your hand that's kind of doing the work. So it's almost like you need to kind of do what you're not good at. And I think that's why I have the effect that I have with this. And I know, you know, a lot of people say about the books, this shouldn't have an effect, but, you know, 200 felt good today. You know, I actually thought to myself, I wanted to try 210, but it moved too slowly. It moved way too slowly. But that's the thinking right now. Just keep pushing these reps. And, you know, a lot of you guys can also say, man, you're doing way too much work, man. Like 60 reps or 40 reps with 60 kilos, it's a lot of work, dude. It's a lot of work. It is, but I feel like I can recover. I don't know, it's weird, man. It's really weird. Like today, I didn't have the idea of coming in and doing this, but when I hit 200 kilos, I was like, man, 60 kilos is so damn light. It's not going to have any effect on me, man. And it's weird because how I walked into the gym and how I walked out, two different feelings. Like I came in kind of sluggish and whatever. That's why I did the overhead press. But then when I kind of did the deadlift and I did the squats, I kind of woke up a little bit. You know, I started feeling a bit more fresher. And at the moment I did this, I know like the 40 reps kind of killed me, but I felt good in my body. It's weird. Like I have no fuel in the tank. You know, I'm smashed, but the body feels good. You know, there's a lot of blood in my quads right now. There's a lot of blood in my glutes, lower back. Like I just feel alive, you know, and that's a cool feeling to have. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me want to do more of these reps because I feel good. I just need to eat a lot, man. Eat a lot and sleep a lot. All right, guys, that's it from me tonight. Thank you, everyone on Patreon. You guys are legends. YouTube comments and Instagram. Appreciate all of you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.